Hey there, everybody. Let me know what you see it. I hope you likes my new background, inspired by Bob. I think it'll actually be my thumbnail, so we can get out of the picture really quick and make the thumbnail prettier. There we go. There's a nice, pretty thumbnail. Hey there, Bridge Aquatics. Hello, Nisi. V-Stag, thank you for the shout out in Bob's thing. Splitter, thank you for coming straight out of Bob's stream. Sunless Plane, welcome. Dead Boy NYC. Who else? Brian Sherman. Sherman, sorry. I'm up. Jadron. Wow, got a lot of people in here. It's not thanks, Neon Tetra Aquarist. I'm not. I actually got my, I'm not of Mexican descent at all. I actually got my, what's it called? Ancestry DNA results, or my dad did, and I am mostly Irish, so that's pretty much it. Kingley, thank you for the background. KZ Ellis, thank you for the compliment on the background. My students made this. Actually they started working on it 2 weeks ago. I showed them a picture of Bob from Steenfod Aquatics live stream. I said, hey, make me a background that looks like this. Make it all fishy and stuff. Make sure it has some fish here, my logo here, and then a fish right here. So they did that. Bridge Aquatics, I teach middle school science. So that's basically it, but teach 6th grade science, one block of 7th grade science, and environmental science. I definitely enjoy life science, the biology aspect of it all, so that's how we go. No, Neon, I do take it as a compliment. I love Mexican food, so I am not offended one bit. I like Taco Bell, is my favorite place. That's not Mexican, I know, but it's one of my favorite places to eat. Thank you, Guppy Crib. I meant to go check out your channel today when I saw you on LR Bress's stream, but my internet started like locking up and stuff, so I had to shut it down, and then I lost your page there, so I do need to go out there. I do have some really good artists in my classroom. Kingley, thank you. They might even be on this stream later on tonight watching it. Yes, I was going for the plants to kind of look like Val, although I didn't draw it. One of my students, I didn't draw anything on here. If I did, it would look like a really bad palm tree, and that's it. The top of the banner. All right, let me loosen this up here. Loosen this one actually. Sorry if it gets shaky here for a second. So the top of the banner, there's the top of the banner. See how it's up there with painting tape. Oh, this is gonna sound horrible, I'm sorry. There's the bottom of it. It's just basically the valve, and there's the rest, the bottom of it. There's some driftwood. So that's the whole thing. Let me get it adjusted back here again. I shall need to lower this back down a little bit while I'm getting things shaken up. I don't know what arosis is. I would like to try it though, if it's Mexican food or Mexican themed food. I love anything Mexican themed food, fake or real or whatever. Yeah, Neon, I was kind of showing them, hey, just don't do anything too fancy, but just have some bright and colorful fish, and I'll be happy. Let me tighten things back up here on this tripod. So yeah, Inglorious Bettas, if you are watching this, I need to message you. So anyways, because I'm using this thing called a smartphone adapter for the tripod, and it works wonders. It's much better than strings wrapped around a tripod. So looks great. Kids must have a fun time. Yeah, they did. We've had some extra time. Hey Bob, welcome to the stream. I hope you like my Bob inspired background here. Favorite schooling fish, empty 60 long. I'm gonna say cardinal tetras is my favorite, just by the looks of them. They aren't really that tightly schooling. I know that rummy nose tetras are much tighter schooling, but I like the looks of cardinal tetras, which is actually what I asked my students to draw right here, was a cardinal tetra. So that's what it is. Do you want to look at a picture of? There it is right there. So that was it. These are my daughter's favorite ones that they like. This one's apparently a shark, so it's a shark that can live in fresh water. Um, yeah, it's a shark. This was just kind of a guppy, I think, is what they were going for here. And I just told them, hey, I don't care how realistic the fish look as long as it's colorful, because it's much better than looking at the yellow background that I usually have in my live streams. So how far are we into it? 5 minutes in. So, anyways, I do actually, yeah, call it a rainbow shark. You're right, a bridge aquatics. It could be a rainbow shark, could be a ballast shark, could be a red-tailed shark, could be a iridescent shark, could be a, what other sharks they have? They call it a mystery shark in one local fish store I was in the other day. But yeah, so that's what it could be. But that one looks like a very tiny, actually a very tiny great white mixed with the upside down thresher shark. So I do like that. Guppy crib, yes, I do have guppies. I have guppyitis. Most of my videos are about guppies. That's my main fish right now. I will be getting more guppies because they'll be having babies. I do have some other fish, but they're not as interesting as I think guppies are because of the whole selective breeding aspect of guppies. So I have an entire playlist about guppies, Guppy Crib. So Brian says, how do I test with things that cause algae in my tanks? We're really having trouble finding a perfect balance in my tank. So Brian, you need to find a balance between the fertilizers and like the nutrient load and the amount of daylight or the amount of light that you're giving it. Oh, Dave, that's a good question. One leaf on my plant is skeletonizing. Any clue why? Um, yeah, but let me go back to the algae. Is if you just cut back on the light just for like an hour or two a day, see if that helps, and then cut back on the fertilizer dosage too. Um, he said that stalactites were formed when minerals in the air condenses into rock. Stalactites are when the minerals drip down from the top and it kind of just adds on a little bit more and more. Rurutu, I teach middle school science to answer your question. So at a really great school, it's at the middle school I went to. So that's pretty fun. I do enjoy that. But anyways, I want to get into kind of the topics of what 35. I think my record is 36. So if we can just get past 36, I think I'll be beating my own record. I'll be pretty excited. But I want to go and get into what I kind of have on my lesson plan here. Just kidding. No things I want to talk to. Um, yeah. Kingsley, I teach mostly 6th and 7th grade. Rurutu, that is a good idea, a good way to get rid of algae is floating plants. It blocks the sunlight. They absorb the excess nutrients in the water, and that usually will help with algae, as will a few fish will also help with algae. What's up, Michael's Fish Room? My brother from another mother, it seems like. Kingsley, 8th grade is middle school, so don't worry about that. You weren't wrong. It's just I just don't teach it. Yeah, sunless plain. It is kind of difficult, but I like to give my guppies away to my students for free because it kind of gets them into the hobby really cheaply. I help them to get it set up and get it started, get it cycled, and tell them the right way to do it. And then once they get it started, I give them free guppies because I have plenty of those. Neon, you're in 8th grade, high school next year. Good luck with it. Congratulations on 8th grade. Yeah, Robex has some pretty good advice there. I haven't ever seen a plant skeletonize. So anyways, I'm going to go and get started before I get sidetracked, which will probably happen in the next 5 seconds. But so last Wednesday, I went to my first local fish club meeting, and Kingsley, yes, I am trying to breed that new guppy. I went to my first local fish club meeting. It was only 15 minutes from my house, which was really nice. It's in the same county as I live in, which is really nice. And and I saw some, some fellow fish nerds in person, which is really nice. I do really enjoy seeing fish nerds in person. And then one of the coolest parts was one of the coolest parts was probably about 10 minutes into the meeting, I saw one of my former students walk in an aquarium co-op t-shirt. So I was like, I recognize that shirt, and hey, I recognize that person. That student is now in college. I actually student taught him when he was in seventh grade, so it was actually before it was my first year of teaching. But I'll still count it 'cause I taught his brother too, so he might even be watching it in here tonight. So might pop in. But yeah, I talked to him about his tanks and stuff. He also, like I used to work at a daycare. He currently works at a daycare. He wants to be a middle school science teacher. So, and he has lots of fish tanks, and he actually wants to, um, how do you overwater on an aquatic plant? Um, he, uh, he wants to set up a fish tank in the daycare um, that he um, works at, which I think is a great idea. It's kind of what Bob is trying to do, but he's pretty much saying, "Hey, he's willing to pay for the whole. My former student is willing to pay for the whole thing. He just wants them to approve it." Amelia, thank you for answering the question. Fish nerds, I don't think are as awkward in person as other nerds are that I can think of. Yeah, thank you, Gubby Crib, means a lot. New record, yep, I did reach it. Fish nerds do rock. I think the most awkward part about fish nerds sometimes is we'll start talking about our water parameters or our tank sizes, like, oh, I got 220s, 410s, 255s, a 75, and we just throwing out numbers like that. I think that's kind of funny and kind of a little bit nerdy, but and we'll ask questions. Thank you, Amelia, for answering that question. I do teach life science, which is like biology and regular general science in sixth grade. Amelia, I hope you're enjoying my background. I see you're new to the stream, but I hope you're enjoying the background. Everybody's liking the background. So, but David, it sounds like it might be a chemical imbalance in your tanks. One thing, it could be the acidity could be off, which could be stripping the plants in some way. That's my best guess, but I can't really know for sure. It's never happened to me. I'm guessing it's not that lace. What's that lace plant called? Lace, not lace valve, but something like that. But at the local fish club, it was pretty cool. There was this guy that actually lives in Maryland, and he came down and he talked to us about native Virginia fish and was talking all about them. And my local fish club this weekend is going on a local fish collecting trip in Blacksburg, Virginia, which is where Virginia Tech is. And they're going to go catching some fish there. He's talking about all the legalities of it and which fish to catch and which fish to avoid and which ones you definitely shouldn't have at all. Which ones are illegal to catch. There's the thing is called the candy darter. It's really pretty, but it's super illegal to keep. Madagascar lace plant. Yes, Rojo, that's what it is. That is the name. Thank you, King Lee, for also getting that name. I knew it was a lace plant, but I couldn't think of the place or the first part of it. Anyway, so on a local fish collecting trip this weekend, and I do see local fish. I think they're really cool. I will probably go collecting some native fish on my parents' farm. I'll be going to look. So I'm pretty sure they have killifish possibly. So I'm gonna go look and see that because I was watching Inglorious Betta's live stream yesterday, and she was at a killifish, the American Killifish Association auction, and I really want to go look. So I'm pretty sure that's what I saw on my parents' farm. They have this creek next to their farm that I probably about 12 years ago I went to go nerd out in the geek out in the creek. Found some tadpoles, I think, and I found some salamanders, and I found some leeches, which is kind of concerning, and I saw some fish. I'm pretty sure they were killifish because they were Pretty sure from what I remember, they were like reddish, kind of pink, maybe blue a little bit. So I'm gonna have to look at them and see what they are, and hope that they're not the candy darter because that's illegal to keep them. Hello, Allison Shanes. I like your name, by the way. It's kind of funny. So yeah, Achilles do rock. I've never kept them before. It's not even on my fish list yet, but I do have a pretty long fish list. So I'll eventually get to Achilles, I guess. Um, yeah, Dave, that sounds like a pretty good dosing regimen there. Once a week and the root tabs every month. Um, let's see, local fish club meeting. It was, of course, let's see, we got there at first, and just for anybody who's never been to a local fish club meeting, we got there and they were looking for the big screen to put everything up on a screen so that the presenter could present. Um, and and they had some technical difficulties because they're lacking in the technology, but they're getting a new screen next month, and so that was pretty cool. And then so they're running late. Then we went over the usual meeting minutes kind of thing at the very beginning, and then we actually had a quick break, which was a time when I talked to my former student and caught up and stuff. Killifish are not common in Canada. I wish I knew about them, that they were more readily available. Kind of funny, really. We can have all the fish. You can't. You're right. You can have all the ones that we can't have. Sam, I am at my house with this dope background. It is a pretty sweet background. Um, your next group meetings on killifish, Brett. That's pretty cool coincidence there. So after that, we had our little break actually. Then our presenter talk. I gotta look up his name. It's on my phone. My phone is currently being used for live streaming. And Neon Tetra Aquarius. More calcium, you can add it. I've been hearing that adding crushed eggshells, make sure that you hard boil them first, not raw, because to prevent the spread of salmonella. And let's see here. Yeah, clay balls should also help with the calcium. Let's see what else I've heard about. Crushed oyster shells will help raise the calcium level as well. So, yeah, Brett, there's actually quite a few former students or current students sometimes on these live streams. I don't usually like to announce who they are. So, because in my opinion, everyone that learns anything from my channel is a current or former student, right? So, oh my gosh. So yeah, oyster shells should help to raise the calcium. Crushed coral also is another good substrate. Thank you, Rurutu. That's another good substrate. Wonder shells. Yeah, those actually are meant to raise the hardness of the water as well. I have a problem with soft water as well, which I was really confused. Because my area, the tap water comes out at like 125 TDS, and yet on the way home I was seeing this person that had this sign advertising for a water softener company. I'm like, do we really need water softener? We have soft water as it is. I mean, it's not as soft as rainwater, which is like less than 30 an hour. Like it's actually 0 obviously, but when it's in my guppy tubs out in the driveway, it's what did I say here? Oh, it's like up to 30 as high as it is. So that's, anyways, the next thing I want to talk about, people have asked me what my dream fish is or what my favorite fish is, and I finally can give an answer. There's a fish I've been looking for years now. I've probably been looking for it for probably 10 to 12 years. I saw it in a was Aquarium Hobbyist magazine, whatever it was. Neon 3, yes, 150 TDS is considered to be relatively soft. So what state I am? I live in Virginia. Live near Richmond, Virginia. Um, so anyways, what was I answering here? Oh, my favorite fish. My favorite fish is the Xiphosaurus montezuma, or the Montezuma swordtail, which I know that let's see, what's the name, Select Aquatics, which Corey has from Aquarium Co-op, has a video with, his name is Greg, what I say his name is, from Select Aquatics, has a video with him, and I'm actually hopefully still on his waiting list for to get some Xiphosaurus montezuma, because they're like my dream fish for the past 12 years. Guppy crib, I do not have well water. I actually have county water, so even out of the county water treated and everything, it's about between 125 and 130 TDS. And right before I do a water change, it gets up as high as, I mean, I have videos of it, I'm pretty sure it gets up as high as like close to 200. I just watched a pretty cool live stream by Fish Tropic this weekend also, and he was actually using, this was the cool part, I was super geeking out about this, but he was using science and using actual evidence to say, hey, you need to do a water change when your TDS gets to this point, and you don't always necessarily have to do, you know, this much of a water change every day, like what some people will say. Amelia, the beta, is a male beta. The females are usually less pretty, have less fancy finnage, and they're usually smaller as well. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Allison Shane's moving your beta to his 20 long bachelor pad today. I like how you got I like where you got the name bachelor pad from. I also considered calling it like a frat house as well, but I figured that wasn't as appropriate as bachelor pad. I thought it was a lot cooler called a bachelor pad. Good night, Brian. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck at getting up at 3 in the morning for work. That's rough. I have to get up a little bit earlier than usual tomorrow. Like actually not hit the snooze button tomorrow morning. So that's my goal for tomorrow. So hopefully I'll stick to that. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So anyways, oh, so I mentioned in my video earlier today that I wouldn't be talking about the meeting that I had with these people today. But I lied. I'm going to talk about it for 30 seconds here. The meeting didn't happen. The people that I was supposed to be meeting with, they got tied up actually getting a huge fish tank, I'm pretty sure, about an hour away from here, and so they had to reschedule. So I will be meeting with them later on this week, so that video will stay up until at least the end of the week. Hopefully it will go as planned. If it does, I will keep the video up indefinitely. If it does not go as planned, then I will be taking that video down that I posted earlier today. How many guppies am I planning on getting? I feel like I'm starting a guppy. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting one too. It's just I see these really cool traits in these guppies that I have. It's, I mean, there's the one with the fancy anal fin, and that's a female. I mean, that's just cool to have that in a female. What else? I have the lyre tail male. I found the sword tail male guppy. I have the Dumbo ear mosaic guppy, and I have the jade head, which I'm not really too set on him. He just does look pretty cool. So yeah, those are the males. Those are minus the one female, obviously. Those are the males. Those are kind of like my studs that I plan on breeding out to the females. As far as females, I have a lot of females. Just in one of my tubs, I have about seven or so females. Yeah, Sam, I actually have close to probably 70 guppies in my classroom, because if you're counting all the fry, which I do because they're a living thing. Amount of guppies to start a colony in a 10 gallon. Really, just one male and like three females will get you a pretty big sized colony in like 2 months. And literally in 2 months' time, I've that's where I've gotten my 70 fry from. And I did that. I increased the um, I um, oh, my survival rate increased once I started using my DIY breeder thing, guppy breeder trap, fry trap, which I'll put up in this corner over here of the recorded version. So, um, yeah, not as far as not fry sim. Yeah, you're right. It probably is. Um, Maybe like 20 in my class, I think, or 15 or 20 or so. So, yeah, fully grown is probably close to 20 or so in my classroom. What am I doing with my classroom tanks this summer? I will be hopefully just keeping some of them running. I hope to be able to do that. Put an automatic feeder on maybe one or two of them and go on there about once a week and do water changes, and check on the feeding situation and do cleanings and stuff. I just realized that I'm planning to bring home. I do not put the fish in the pond. That is not a good practice, Sam. I know you're joking, but I take that seriously. I do not put fish in the pond. That's where I got all my local. That's where I got all my local wild caught fancy guppies, which is one of my highest videos. I'll put a link to that right here. Um, so good night, Neon Tetra Aquarius. Thank you for stopping by. So what was I saying? Oh, I'll be bringing home my guppy fry that's in my classroom and put it in my daughter's 10 gallon in her room because that's a pretty good place. But I just gotta make sure I put a sponge over the intake, prevent this fry from being sucked up into it and being eaten by the filter, just like on Finding Nemo. So that way she can watch the babies grow up, and it'll be really cool for her, and I can keep a closer eye on the fry, like this. Um, um, let's see what else. My bachelor pad guppies, I might just bring them back home and put them into a one of the tubs or one of the 5 gallon buckets probably. Yeah, Allison Shane's right. The panda guppies are a cool strain. I do not have any yet. Rob Hicks, I do. Once I give a guppy to a student, I plan on them keeping it because I don't ever intend to get it back, just because how things usually go. So I do give them away. My male guppies in the bachelor pad, except for like two of them, they can definitely have most of those bachelor pad male guppies for free, and they can keep them. But yeah, Sam, you're right. She does have a really good Kevin Hart impersonation. No, she wasn't ready. She said that last year when she was little. Small what she is now. But anyways, I'm saying here. So, um, oh, so what else am I doing with the fish tanks? The females will be coming home to be added to my guppy tubs for summer tubbing, breeding kind of stuff. Down the wormhole, welcome to my stream. I'm glad you found me here. I like your beta tanks in your living room. Those are really cool looking. I actually saw some of those today at Walmart, and I so thought of them. Like, they'd be so cool to keep fish in those things. I just think it's the coolest thing. Let's see. Someone's playing the guppy with the spot that comes and goes now has 3 of his kids showing the same spot. That's pretty cool. Someone's playing that. That means I guess 3 out of his, how many offspring came out of that? Because what I'm thinking is if it's only 3 that showed up with that trait, it is a recessive trait. So someone's playing that is pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that information. Um, Amelia, what was your comment? Let me go up and check really quick. Whenever I say fry, I think French fry like fries with fins in the face swimming in a tank. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny to see that. Um, Although I'd rather see like a burrito swimming in a tank. That would be tastier. So maybe someone needs to name a burrito fish. What was I gonna say? Also down the wormhole, I'm really jealous of your piranha tanks as well because legally we can't keep them here. Good night, Emilio. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good night. But yeah, down the wormhole, those I'm so jealous you having piranhas. I know piranhas are like boring and stuff, but just to say that you have piranhas, and I can never spell piranhas for some reason. It's just really sad, but yeah, I'm kind of jealous that you can keep piranhas and I can't. So please post as many piranha videos as you want to, and I will watch them and live vicariously through your piranha tanks. So yeah, having piranha. I actually looked into like what I would have to do to be able to keep piranhas, and I think there might be a way, if I read the laws correctly, it might be a way if I applied for like a license and stuff and got approved, then I could keep them. But I don't think I'm not sure if I'm reading the laws correctly, and I don't want to risk it. And oh, I get it. Guppy Crib, how do you quick start a um, a new tank? AT, Appalachian Trail. I don't know what AT would stand for, Sam. But Guppy Crib, how to quick start a new tank. What I like to do is set up 2 filters in one tank. Set up 2 filters in one tank that have biological media in them, like my fluidized bed DIY water bottles that I have a video. I'll post a link to that right here. But you take 2 of the filters from those, or take 2 sponge filters and put them in, put one of them in your new tank, and then it's basically cycled and ready to go. I let it sit for like 24 hours. Usually I put some plants from my old tank into my new tank, and that helps a little bit faster too. I take some substrate from my old tank, put it into my new tank. So I take substrate, plant, and filter media from my old tanks and put it into my new tank. I even take old water from my old tank or current tank and put it into a new tank. Probably don't do very much, but I figure it helps. At least I know that's dechlorinated. Allison Shane's who has piranha in there. Down the Wormhole has piranha videos, so go check out her channel. Sounds like a lot for fish, more and more banned all the time as well. I know, it's really frustrating. There's so many fish and aquatic organisms that are banned now in Virginia. It's really frustrating. Luckily, I can keep turtles under 4 inches because I'm a teacher, but I don't really want to because turtles kind of get smelly. So I used to have one. I used to have what was it, Eastern painted turtle maybe, or a red ear, I forget what it was. And he was in a 20-gallon long, kind of, with like a halfway cut out one side so that the filter could go on there, and heat lamp, a little place for him to crawl out and bask, and fed him turtle tab things, whatever, and I think I fed him feeder guppies sometimes, or something I found or caught outside, and I don't know, they just get smelly, and their water gets dirty like every day, so I just don't really like keeping turtles, so that's not really a thing I'll take them up on. What percent would you say you went up when you started using the fry? Oh my gosh, Kingly, it was crazy. My first batch of guppies, guppy fry, I had 1 that survived, and then literally the next batch of guppies that I had using that guppy fry trap was I think my next batch was like 25. So that's like what, 2,500% increase in the survivability rate. Lumpy dog, that does work. Squeeze out a sponge filter into a new aquarium, move some gravel from the existing to a new aquarium, and use plants. Tank is instantly cycled, but it won't be able to handle a big load. Yes, you do still need to do it slowly, Guppy Crib. So just make sure you take it slow and just be patient. Yeah, everybody on here. Allison Shane is definitely a great idea to sub down the wormhole. Lumpy Dog has some great videos. His I'm gonna mispronounce it. Bircher is really cool. Has a lot. You can just see the personality in his face. It's really cool. Rurutu, I used to have a tortoise. I used to have I forget if it's a Greek or Russian tortoise, but it's the one that stays smaller, and that one actually was a pretty cool tortoise. I do kind of miss him a little bit. Hey Shrimpy, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you since like what, Bob streams? That was like an hour ago or so. So yeah, but yeah, they turtles just smell bad. This one law that I will not be taking them. Well, Sam, you also shouldn't be doing that anyways. Fighting fish together is just wrong, altogether wrong. Hey Susan, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you could stop by. I thought you were going in for the night kind of thing. Everybody, Susan will be streaming tomorrow night on her channel, so go check out her stream tomorrow night. I think it's at, I think it's at 6 or I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern is what I think I remember. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Susan. So definitely go check her out. What was I saying here? Who else? Yeah, V-Stag had posted some videos of his garden today. I watched both of those. I like to keep up with everybody's life other than just fish stuff too. Hey there, Abby. Welcome to the stream. 6 p.m. Central, so that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time. So everybody go check out Susan for SLC Aquatics. Her live stream will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So go to her channel, subscribe to her, turn on the notifications so you can be notified whenever she is live streaming. King Lee says, looks like I'm going to be using one too. I've made some but never used it. I don't know what you're talking about. Use some. What'd you use? Oh, used a fry trap. Yeah, that would be a great thing to use. I highly recommend it. Rutu, the seed sprouted. It's a great thing. It's exciting. They will grow like crazy. Thank you, Abby. My students made this background actually. They made it over the past 2 weeks. We had homeroom first thing every day, and on Wednesdays or Fridays they can read, study, or do homework. And I was hoping to teach them about the stuff that they were drawing here, and I just call it art homework as well. So also they've been doing some testing right now, so I figured this was a nice stress reliever for them to be able to do, and then to be able to unwind. So Sam, the type of traits I'm trying to get is basically the traits that the males have and one that the female has. I'm trying to get, there's a female, I posted a video of her. I posted that video probably about last week. Post a link to that video right here on the recording. And she's a really cool long anal fin on her that I would like to see if I can get that. If I could, Susan had a really good idea to breed that female with a with my lyre tail male, and that to see what kind of fins come out there. And then definitely want to breed the Dumbo mosaic male to basically most of the females, and be hopefully getting some pretty cool fry out of him. And then I'll be definitely shipping some of those really cool fry to Michael's Fish Room everyone gets a chance, go check out Michael's Fish Room channel. Him and I are like, it's like we're twins kind of thing. It's like him and I, like it's like I'll be watching one of his recordings of a live stream or watching one of his videos, and I'll think something, and then literally 5 seconds later he says it. Thank you for stopping by, Nisi. Yeah, Chic Rick. Yeah, I still have. Let's see, where's the turkey go? Here's turkey go. So here you go, Nisi. So that's what Nisi was talking about. It's a squirrel. It's a squirrel call. What's the other one? It sounds funny. So that's what Nisi is talking about. Yes, Sam, and let's not talk about it on here, please. So, you don't know what the females carry, so the mosaic may bring out snakes and to look for. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Kevin, you like the background? It's my students made it. I'm pretty proud of them. My students in my home base, I'm very proud of them. Their artistic skills are much better than mine are. But hey, Salt Life Boy, welcome to the stream. But yeah, the other traits I want to breed out is so lyre tail male, the Dumbo ear mosaic male. I wonder how Dumbo ear would look with the fancy anal fin female. They'll look pretty cool too. Yeah, Britt, it does kind of sound like a dog toy. This squirrel call sounds like a dog toy. It's pretty funny. But see what else. Good night, Sam. Thank you for stopping by. What other trait? I think it's basically all. Oh, my. Yeah, so like, boy, I got the 36. I know earlier tonight. I'm not sure the actual record. I'll have to double check it, but I can check it right now. Actually, my highest one was 42. That's definitely a record. 42 at one time in here. That's definitely a new record. So 42, I'm pretty excited about that right now. I'm taking that note right there. So pretty exciting. I'll be on here for another 18 minutes or so just give everybody a heads up. If you have any questions or anything about anything, guppies especially, I can answer basic fish tank setup questions. I love answering those. Lyre tail, yeah. So Lumpy Dog, are you asking what a lyre tail is? Because if so, a lyre tail looks like this. It's a U-shaped kind of thing, but yeah, Del Normal, I had a feeling your husband would like my guppies. They are some pretty cool guppies in the most masculine way I can think of. I mean, guppies, the name sounds so feminine, but guppy hunting is so much fun. Shrimpy, where do you live? Like, what country? Because oh, you mean like guppy hunting in like local fish stores? You're right. It's like I go there every week and I check like what's the newest strain of guppies. A fish room. So Brett, I used to have an animal room back before I was married. Really quick splitter. My favorite plant would be Java moss. It's a great one. I haven't had any luck with guppy grass yet because it kind of just died off. Yeah, it was called the double sword. Anyways, Brett, I used to have an animal room back when I was back before I was married and had a daughter. I had an animal room, which I have. Those are some old videos, and they are let's say, used to have 12 snakes, 5 lizards, 3 tarantulas, 2 scorpions, a centipede, rats, mice, gerbils, 2 species of cockroaches, and 2 cats. But when I was living with my parents when I was still in high school and stuff, and first years of college, I had 4 10-gallons, 2 20s, and a 55 in my bedroom when I was growing up. That was pretty cool. So that was my fish bedroom. I have more tanks in my classroom than I have in my house. My classroom, I currently have, two 10-gallons, a kind of smaller 2.5 gallon that my beta is currently living in. Anchor, the beta is apparently what he's named, which his full name is apparently Josh Jofferson, also known as Anchor. One of my students that named him on the actual tank, Josh Jockerson, was kind of upset that I made the rule of, if you go on one of my videos and you find a fish that has not been named yet, you just comment below with which fish you want to name, and that's the name that will stick. So that is so that's my new policy on naming fish. I'm not going to remember all the names, that's for sure, but I think with the one beta that I have, I will keep that. I will keep that that name probably memorized. So anyways, that student was upset that I publish that new policy for naming my fish. So I said, how about this? Its real name will be Josh Jockerson, but it'll be mostly known as Anchor, just like Dwayne Johnson is mostly known as The Rock. So, and she's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I'll go with that. Yeah, Susan, I definitely, it actually got to a point where I was watching an episode of Hoarder's Animal Edition or whatever, and I was looking like, oh, I'm probably an animal hoarder. So it was at that moment that I realized I need to get out of it before it gets any worse and before I end up with like 86 cats and stuff like that. Yeah, Susan, I would definitely appreciate that, because the guppy grass I got off of eBay is just, it's dying, and I mean, it's good fry food because they're eating all the stuff that's breaking down and everything, so that's making it a little bit better for them to eat over the weekend. But I did not have any guppy grass that made it from the stuff I got from eBay. I was concerned at first that the microworm culture I got from eBay wasn't working, but I just noticed yesterday that it is working, so that was pretty exciting. And I fed that to my guppies yesterday, the day before. Yeah, I was pretty close to being an animal hoarder, Britt, but I realized when it was a problem before it became a problem, and I got rid of them. Also, the problem was, so here's a crazy story, Britt. I think y'all will definitely find this one funny. So March 1st of 2008 or 2009, we had a pretty bad ice storm here in Virginia, and I lived in the middle of nowhere, out in the country, and it was an ice storm, and about 1 in the morning the power went out and it didn't come back on. And snakes are ectotherms, so I had to put all my snakes into pillowcases and my tarantulas into Tupperware like things with holes in the top, and see what else. And then I put my lizards in like PVC tubes with like pillowcases shoved in the end so that they could still breathe. Then I put the centipede. I didn't have the centipede at that point, I don't think. No, I didn't have it. Put the tortoise in a pretty large Tupperware thing with holes in the top so that he could still breathe. And then I got in bed with them, actually. This is a pretty crazy story. I put them in bed with me. I put the snakes and stuff like on my chest, and I put the lizards on my chest. Actually, they were in my arms next to my torso, and then like the tarantulas were near my upper leg area. And this was about 2 in the morning that I did this, and because I got them all packed away and got under the covers to keep them warm, and they kept warm by body heat, obviously. So I didn't want to lose them because I had probably close to over $1,000 in animals right there. So the temperatures were definitely in the single digits, and so I stayed in bed like that until 5 p.m. later on that day, when my parents said, hey, our power's back on, do you want to come over here and bring your heat pads and keep your animals alive? And I was like, yes, I would appreciate that. I mean, I don't think I really even got out of bed very much to go to the bathroom, because I wanted to keep those animals alive. So it was at that point that I realized that either I do one of two things. One, get a generator, which I didn't have the money to go get a generator at the time for whenever the power went out. Or two, I needed to find a new home for my to find a new home for all my animals. So, hey there, Ruffin. Welcome to the stream. Um, Ruffin, I'm just telling the story about when I used to have all my animals and how I had to put them in bed with me. I know that you've heard this story before, but so I decided to post them on Craigslist, and I found a new home. The cool thing was that my original plan for all of them was to take them to daycares and retirement homes and elderly nursing homes and stuff like that, and have like an educational thing and teach people about it, and eventually open up my own zoo, and was my plan at one point. But the cool thing was the lady that bought all of them. Basically, she bought all of them except for like my corn snake, I think, and like my blue tongue skink. She didn't. I don't think she bought him. Maybe she might have. But cool thing was that that's what she was doing. Was she was taking them to daycares and schools and nursing homes and teaching people about the animals and letting kids get exposed to these snakes. I brought these snakes to my daycares. They were handled frequently, so they were very friendly. They were very nice. They were. They didn't bite unless you were trying to feed them food and you were dumb enough to use your hand, and they mistook your hand for a piece of food. So the rest of the cool part of the story was that what made it even cooler is that she took these animals on like fashion shoots with models. So it was like, that's pretty cool. That's something I don't have access to. It'd be kind of strange for me to have access to model fashion shoots. So they're living a pretty good life now, so I'm very happy that that's where they went. I didn't get the money that I got from them was basically as much as what one of them was worth. My rainbow boa was, I saw it in a store for $325, and I sold all of them for $300. So I had an albino Burmese python. I had a tiger jungle reticulated python. It had an eye messed up, but it was still fine. I had the tarantulas, and tarantulas are worth like less than $50 a piece. I had one tarantula with a bird eater spider that would get to the size of a dinner plate. That was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, that's the animals I used to have. I got out of them. I no longer have any. I don't really miss them. The only animals I have missed keeping is fish, and that's why I'm getting back into them. I love it. It's like my passion. And I do that. Battery backup on Amazon. And 2 Colombian red-tailed boas didn't die during powder damage a couple of winters ago. That's a pretty good idea, Ruffin. That wasn't available back when this went out. Amazon wasn't really as big as what it is now. So, down the wormhole, have a good bike ride. Thank you for stopping by. I'll be ending this live stream in about 8 minutes. So, so yeah, I got out of them, and I really don't miss the reptiles. I don't miss the snakes very much at all. The only thing I do miss is I miss my bearded dragon. One day I would like to get another bearded dragon. My wife says eventually that I can get another bearded dragon because they have a lot of personality. My students, usually male students that want to get into reptiles, they ask me and I tell them, and I talk to the moms. The mom's like, I don't want them to get creepy crawly thing. And I'm like, no, trust me, you watch. You're gonna eventually love the bearded dragon more than your son does. And your son's gonna be complaining because you don't ever let him get his bearded dragon. And sure enough, every single mom that lets her son get a bearded dragon, they end up taking over the bearded dragon, and the sons they can be like, my mom took over my bearded dragon. I'm like, I'm sorry, I told you it's gonna happen. And they just love bearded dragons. They have so much personality. So I would eventually like to get a bearded dragon again. It's the one reptile I miss. The tarantulas were pretty cool. I would like one of those, but that's probably not gonna happen. Just to have one, and where's my daughter? Just one. That's what she does now whenever she wants a treat all the time. Your goalies is pretty much the only thing you can't get, but if someone has a suggestion of floating plants with goldfish, duckweed, they will eat the duckweed, so that's a great thing. It's a great food and cover plant for them. I've found pretty good luck. Oh, water lettuce. If you can get that, that'll grow, and I don't think they'll eat it. But that's pretty good. I will definitely have to go look at her videos, KZ Ellis. I'll have to go look at Glorious Betta's videos about her bearded dragon named Weldon. I will have to go look at that because maybe live vicariously through Weldon. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I think allergy stuff going on. I actually swept today, all the dust and stuff. But yeah, also Jean Michael. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I'm not French speaking at all. Murica, but I see floating plants. I've also had floating water sprite grows really well, or water wisteria floats pretty well. That'll be pretty good for goldfish. I don't think that they will eat that. Yeah, goldfish, some will leave Anubias alone because it is waxy and nice and thick. Thank you, Lumpy Dog, for throwing that in there. So I think that's, yeah, would like to be a dragon again, maybe one day. I also really want to train mice. Just like I train my betas in my classroom. I have trained goldfish before, but I did learn that, which by the way, the video to that training beta is right here. But I would like to train, back to the training the goldfish. I have a good night, Britt. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for stopping by. It's good. I said it correctly. Yes. Sunless plane. Don't get me started on that. But let me finish this real quick. Training. I have trained goldfish. I got two feeder goldfish, and I kept them in tanks. And one class trained one, and one class trained the other, and then one of them learned really quickly, and one of them did not. One of them was like really, really dumb, and it did not learn tricks at all. One of them picked them up really quickly. I found the best luck with beta fish because the ones that are more aggressive, the ones that have more personality, are the easiest to train. So I do like those the best. But I would also like to train mice too, because that just looks like fun. Because I don't know, the thought of having a bigger brain and being able to do different stuff and actually doing things that fish can't do. I do have a few ideas for training fish. Maybe I'll talk about that in a different live. Let me write that down. Fish training live stream. I think that would be pretty cool. So everybody, let me know if you would be interested in a fish training live stream. Maybe I'll be training my fish on the live stream and then talking about it as well. I train my goldfish, they do little tricks. I hand feed them. Yeah, they are pretty smart. I like betas the best to train. I really want to get an Oscar to train it because they are very trainable, as are most cichlids, and a flower horn would be pretty cool to train as well. So, Sunless Plane, my thoughts on glowfish. I hate them. My daughter she started 6 of them. She started with 6. She got for her 3rd birthday, she picked out the pretty fish. 1 or 2 that look pinkish, one that's like purple, one that's blue, I think, green, yellow, bunch of things like that. And I really hated doing that, and I'm not very sad that somehow mysteriously, and it's really not my fault, I don't know what happened to them, but 3 of them had disappeared, so she only has 3 right now. So luckily I am very quickly converting her over to guppies. She thinks guppies are pretty, she's happy about that, and she's content with guppies are pretty enough. I hate glowfish. I have a problem with the fact that they are genetically modified. Selective breeding I don't have a problem with, because that's like, hey, you two breed. It's kind of like you're playing matchmaker. But the GMO part of it, I have a problem. The biggest problem I have with glowfish is the fact that they are an animal that an animal that's a trademark. That's just messed up. How do you trademark or put a copyright on an animal? That's messed up. So fact, G.I. Joe, when G.I. Joe first came out, they wanted to get a patent on G.I. Joe, and the patent office said, I'm sorry, you can't patent the human body. So what G.I. Joe did was they actually put on the G.I. Joe, they put the thumbnail on the inside of I think the left hand. So there's a random history copyright patent fact for you. But so anyways, yes, Lovey Dog, it is true. If they're alive and they eat, you can train them for the most part. So this is gonna be the end of my live stream. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. It's a new record tonight of 42 at one time. So that's woo. That's pretty exciting. I just dropped my pen. Um, I got so excited. I got blisters on my fingers. No. I really had fun tonight. I hope you all learned some stuff. Hope that for those of you that have never been to a local fish club meeting, please go find one and go to one. It's nice to meet up with local with fish nerds in person. It's nice, interact here, but to interact face to face is even better. It's even better, haha. Yeah, just go to a local fish club meeting. Talk to people there. It's a great place to get. Mine has an auction where you can sell your fish and your plants. Actually, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to experience that. I really loved it. Definitely go experience a local fish club. What else? Yeah, I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that next week. Maybe I'll be talking about that. That'll be exciting. So, Susan, I'm not ready for the ram's horn snails yet because I haven't gotten my water hard enough yet. So I don't. I think that if I put the ram's horn snails in that, they would probably die again. So I don't want to kill anything. But thank you though for offering. But everybody check out Susan's live stream tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check out her channel, Susan for SLC Aquatics. Go check out Lumpy Dogs. Let's get him to 100 subs tonight. I really want him to get to 100 subs. To be great of him. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Everybody, make sure that you sub everybody. So keep this chat open afterwards. I won't take it down for a while, so that you all can go sub each other and build up your sub list and everything. Thank you, Shrimpy, for stopping by. But everybody who's watching this recording, please, if you watch it this long, you may as well make sure that you subscribe, turn on the notifications, give it a like or a dislike. If you dislike it, give it a comment. Explain to me why. I'm very open to constructive criticism. If there's things like get a better face, then sorry, this is the best you're working with. But I'm just kidding. I don't care about that. I think I'm beautiful. If you think it's great, if you have any questions, things we talk about in future live streams, please comment below. Please comment below with with what you'd like to talk about in the future. I will be doing a fish training live stream apparently, and talking about that thing I did talk about this time, and maybe talking about what I was supposed to go meet with those guys about today, but I'll be meeting with them later on today. So hopefully that will work out well. But like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, and everybody keep it fishy. Thank you.